So hello, good day everyone. I am Lani Andit and today we are going to discuss the chapter 11 entitled Back to Calamba together with Muhammad Alagasi. So, nung nagsari pa si Rizal sa abroad, na-enjoy niya yung paggawa niya ng friendship sa Western world. But still, na-remain sa heart niya ang love niya sa Philippines and determination niya to die in the land of his birth. So, 5 years siya sa Europe and bumalik siya ng Pilipinas noong August 1887. And nag-aral siya, nag-practice siya ng medicine sa Calamba para maoperahan nga yung mata ng mother niya. And then, tahimik na yung buhay niya sana as isang doktor. So, pero yung mga enemies niya is, which is yung attacker ng Noli, is hindi pa rin siya tinatantanan. So, madami nga nag-warning sa kanya na wag na muna siya umuwi ng Pilipinas. Isa na dito is yung kuya niya, si Pasiano, and Silvestre Ubaldo, which is yung brother-in-law niya, and yung mga iba niyang friends na gi-warningan siya na wag na muna siya umuwi ng ng Pilipinas. Pero si Rizal, determinado talaga siyang umuwi ng Pilipinas. Ang reason niya is, first, kailangan niya operahan yung eyes ng mother niya. Second, is to serve his people who had long been oppressed by Spanish tyrants. Ito na yung mga malulupit or yung mga mapang-abuso ng mga Spanish. And third is to find out for himself how Noli and his other writings were affecting Filipinos and Spanish in the Philippines. And number 4 is to find out why Leonor had remained silent. So, Jose Rizal wanted to return to Calamba primarily to fulfill his promise to his family and to his people. Kahit na alam niya na delikado and may mga warning din siya nalalanggap sa kuya niya and sa mga friends niya, pero he felt a strong sense of duty to address the injustice and abuses suffered by his fellow Filipinos under the Spanish colonial rule. And returning to Calamba allowed him to reconnect with his roots and further explore his Filipino identity, which he later reflected in his writings and activism. So, in this 1887, Jose Rizal thanks Blumentritt for the advice na magstay siya sa Madrid and doon niya i-continue yung pagsusulat niya. And i-clarify niya na he struggles to live in Madrid, therefore, he's unable to take the advice. Then, on June 29, 1887, sinabi niya or pinadala niya ng sulat yung tatay niya na umuwi na nga siya ng Pilipinas. And then, on July 3, 1887, he boarded steamer Dejemna. So, ito rin yung steamer na nagdala sa kanya sa Europe 5 years ago. And then, maraming passenger na kasabay si Rizal dito. And pinakamarami is Frenchmen. Then, meron 4 Englishmen, 2 German, 3 Chinese, and 2 Japanese. And sa 50 passenger na yon, si Rizal lang yung makaspeak ng maraming language. So that he acted as an interpreter of his companion. So, on board, nakipaglaro si Rizal sa mga passenger ng chess, and then yung iba naman is kumakanta, yung iba naman is nagpi-play ng piano. And then next, July 30, he transferred to another steamer, Haiphong, which was Manila bound. Then August 6, he arrived in Manila. So finally, sa haba ng biyahe niya, nakarating na talaga siya sa paroroonan niya. Pero nagstay muna siya sa Manila City para mag-visit sa mga friends niya. And then habang nandoon siya is napansin niya na yung 5 years ago na umalis siya hanggang ngayon, hanggang nung dating niya is wala pa rin nagbago. Yung mga old churches, ganun pa rin. Yung buildings, pati yung mga boats sa Pasig River is walang pinagbago. And August 8, after his arrival in Manila, he reached Calamba, and natural, gi-welcome siya ng family niya with tears of joy. And then nagsulat ulit siya kay Blumentritt at binalita na nakauwi na siya. So, nakauwi na nga siya, no? Pero yung family niya is nag-worry pa rin sa kanya kasi baka kung anong gawin sa kanya ng mga enemies niya. Kaya si Pasiano, yung kuya niya, is hindi talaga iniwan si Rizal during his first day after arrival para maprotektahan siya. And ganoon din yung tatay niya, hindi siya pinapalabas na mag-isa lang kasi baka kung anong mangyari sa kanya. So, his first exploit as a physician was the successful operation on his mother's eyesightless eye. So nagtayo nga si Rizal sa Calamba ng medical clinic. So with surgical skill that he acquired in the best eye clinics in Europe, na-remove niya yung double cataract sa eyes ng mother niya. And then, naging sikat siya dahil doon sa operation na yon, na naging successful yung operation na ginawa niya sa mama niya. Kasi nga, parang isang himala good na ma-restore pa yung eyesight ng mother niya. So, nag-spread yung news sa iba't ibang lugar. So, yung mga patients from province and Manila, pumunta sila doon sa Calamba para lang doon. So, within a few months, he was able to earn $900 as a physician. So, hindi katulad ng ibang medical practitioner, si Rizal is hindi niya inubos yung time niya para payamanin lang yung sarili niya. Kilala naman natin si Rizal bilang isang mapagmahal sa bayan, mapagmahal sa kapwa Pilipino. So nag-open siya ng gym for young folks where he introduced European sports. So, sa 6 months niya na pag-stay sa Calamba, hindi niya nakita si Leonor Rivera doon. He tried to go to Dagupan pero hindi siya pinayagan ng magulang niya kasi nga alam nila na may feeling si Rizal kay Leonor. Tsaka yun din yung isa sa reason na umuwi, di ba? Umuwi si Rizal sa reason na para makita niya si Leonor. Then, and alam din ng parents ni Rizal na yung mother ni Leonor is hindi siya sang-ayon sa pag-iibigan nilang dalawa, yung parang nag-oppose siya ba. So aside sa pag-practice ng medicine and pag-attend sa mga gymnasium, he also painted several beautiful landscape and he translated the German poems to von Wildernat into Tagalog. So, nakatanggap na naman ng letter si Rizal from Governor General Emilio Terrero para pumunta nga sa Malacanang kasi may nagsabi dito kay Governor General Emilio na ang Noli daw is nagko-contain ng subversive ideas. And then pumunta nga si Rizal sa Malacanang and he was informed by the charge. Pero gideny ni Rizal yon and ang sabi niya na he did not advocate any subversive ideas. So, na-curious ito si Governor about sa controversial book na ito and kaya naghingi siya ng copy para mabasa niya ito, but unfortunately si Rizal had no copy because the only copy he brought home was given to a friend, but he promised to secure one to the Governor General. So nag-visit si Rizal sa Jesuit Fathers para maghingi ng copy na ibigay niya sana kay Governor General, and that is the Jesuit Father, especially his former professor Francisco Sanchez, si Jose Beck and Federico Faura were glad to see him. But sabi nitong si Federico Faura about sa Noli is everything in it was truth but you may lose your head for it. So unfortunately si Rizal found a copy from a friend, so binigay niya yung copy kay Governor, pero ito si Governor General who was a liberal minded executive is alam niya na nanganganib ang buhay ni Rizal kasi nga yung mga enemies niya, yung mga praile na mga enemies niya is very powerful, malalakas ito sila, kaya nilang anuhin si Rizal. So itong governor is naisip niya din siguro ang buhay ni Rizal, kaya naisip niya na nanganib ang buhay talaga ni Rizal, so nagpadala siya ng Spanish lieutenant na galing sa noble family. So itong Spanish lieutenant na ito is marunong siya mag-paint and he could also speak English and French and Spanish. So nabigay na nga ni Rizal kay Governor ang copy ng Noli and nabasa na ito ni Governor and nalaman niya na walang mali sa Noli niya na novel. Pero yung mga attackers kasi ni Rizal is mga matataas na tao and mga powerful sila. Kasi in the Philippine during colonial time, some people talaga didn't like Jose Rizal's Noli. Kahit na even though the Governor General didn't see anything wrong with it, but a powerful man, si Archbishop Pedro Payo, who was part of a religious group, decided to act against it. So pinadala niya nga yung Noli sa university committee made up of professor who belonged to the same religious group as him, and they said that the book was bad in many ways, like being against the country and causing trouble for the government. So they told the Archbishop about this and he quickly told the Governor General. So pinakita dito na yung mga people na may mga authority or yung mga powerful like the Archbishop could use their power to stop ideas they didn't like even if others didn't agree. So itong si Governor General Terrero, hindi siya satisfied and he wasn't happy about with the report from the Dominicans because he thought that they were unfair lang sila kay Rizal ba. So he asked another group, pinadala niya yung Noli sa ibang group. Yung group na ito is the Permanent Commission of Censorship para i-check yung book. So bali pinadala niya yung novel doon. So this group led by Father Salvador F. Agustin and said that the book is dangerous ideas against the church and Spain. So they suggested banning it completely in the Philippines. So yun, lumabas na nga sa newspaper ang report na iban na sa Pilipinas ang Noli, sa buong Pilipinas. So Rizal and his friend got worried but his enemies were happy. Pero yung pagban kasi nila sa Noli is parang mas nagustuhan ng mga ordinaryong tao na basahin kasi na-curious sila kung bakit iban. So even though the government tried to stop it and the guards kept watch, many Filipinos still found ways to read the Noli Me Tangere in secret at night, and it became even more popular among the ordinary people because the Spanish rulers didn't like it. So sana hindi sana yun malaman ng mga ordinary people, pero dahil nga giban nila, so mas naging popular siya, and kahit yung mga ordinaryong people is nabasa na nila. May mga tao na nag-a-attack sa Noli and meron ding mga defense sa Noli, and isa pala sa mga nag-a-attack sa Noli is ito si Father Franz, who wrote a report criticizing the novel and spread copies hoping to discredit it. And another Augustinian friar named Father Jose Rodriguez wrote a pamphlet called Kaingat Kayo, meaning be aware. So ito siya yung nag-a-attack sa Noli, and sabi niya na kung sino man yung tao na magbasa ng Noli is nakakommit ng mortal sins because it was full of heresy. So another critic was a Spanish writer named Vicente Barantes, who harshly criticized the Noli in a Madrid newspaper called La España Moderna in January 1890. So the impact of the controversy over the Noli Me Tangere even reached the Spanish Cortes. Two Spanish senators, Vida and Pando, spoke against the Noli during the parliamentary debates, and also a member of a lower house of the Spanish Cortes, General Salamanca, also criticized the Noli. So yun yung mga attacker ng Noli, and meron ding naga-defend sa Noli. Isa dito sa mga naga-defend ng Noli is si Marcelo H. Del Pilar, who wrote for a La Solidaridad as Dolores Manapat. Nag-publish siya ng pamphlet na called Kaingat Kayo to counter Father Rodriguez criticisms. Del Pilar's pamphlet looked similar to Father Rodriguez, so it reached even the people in churches. The title Kaingat Kayo was smart because it means be as slippery as an eel. So next is si Father Francisco Sanchez. Isa ito siyang dating professor ni Rizal. So sabi niya na si Don Sigismundo Moret, a Spanish politician and former head of the Council of Ministers, also liked the book. And last, ito si Reverend Vicente Garcia, a Filipino Catholic priest at the Manila Cathedral. Father Garcia wrote a strong defense of the novel, which was published in Singapore as part of a pamphlet in July 1888. Ang sabi niya dito is, may tatlo siyang sinabi. Ang first is, Rizal cannot be an ignorant man as Father Rodriguez alleged, because he was a graduate of Spanish University and was a recipient of scholastic honors. And second, Rizal does not attack the church and Spain as Father Rodriguez claimed, because what Rizal attacked in the Noli were the bad Spanish officials and not Spain, and the bad and the corrupt friars and not the church. Lastly is, Father Rodriguez said that those who read the Noli commit immortal sins. Since he had read the novel, therefore he also commits immortal sins. So this shows that supports for Rizal's book came from different people, including important figures and fellow scholars. So yun lang yung sa part ko, and itong topic namin is ipagpapatuloy ni Muhammad Alagassi.
Defenders of Noli. Pagsulat sa ilalim ng panulat, si Justo Desiderio Magalang ay sumulat ng isang pagtatanggol sa Noli na inilathala sa Singapore appendix sa pamphlet na may petsang July 1888. Ibinatikos ang mga arguments ni Father Rodriguez. Pinagtanggol mismo ni Rizal ang kanyang nobela laban sa atake ni Parates sa huling isinulat sa Boses Belgium noong February 1880. Ayan na tayo sa Farewell to Calamba. Hiniling ng mga fires kay Governor General Guerrero na ipa-deport siya sa Singapore. Like, papalisin na talaga. Like, hindi na talaga makakabalik pag sinabi natin deport. Hindi na makakabalik si Rizal. And then, ngunit tumangi si Governor Terrero dahil walang valid or katanggap-tanggap na kaso ni Rizal. Napilitan si Rizal na umalis ng Calamba sa dalawang dahilan. Unang-una is ang kanyang presensya sa Calamba ay nagdudulot ng panganib sa kaligtasan at kaligayahan ng kanyang mga pamilya at kaibigan. Pangalawa, kaya niyang labanan ng mas mahusay ang kanyang bansa ng may mahusay na bisa sa pamamagitan ng pagsulat ng mga dayong bansa. A Poem for Lipa. Isang sandali bago umalis si Rizal sa Calamba noong 1888, hiniling sa kanya ng kanyang kaibigan na mula sa Lipa magsulat ng tula bilang paggunita sa pagkakataas ng bayan sa isang villa or city, lungsod sa bisa ng Bisera Law 1888. Hymn to Labor, tula na isinulat ni Rizal ay inaalay sa mga taong masisipag na mamamayan ng Lipa. And that's all.